Earlier this month, you probably saw former Miss Universe Sushmita Sen dancing with her daughter Aliza in Paris, ahead of Aliza's journey to study abroad. She posted their little spin in Paris on Instagram with this caption: "My Shona's first trip to Paris, France, before she leaves to study abroad." What's different from 1994 when Sushmita won the Miss Universe title and now is that then India's rich and famous would send their children abroad to study. Today, the entire nation seems to have given up on Indian education. What a wonderful surprise it was when 19-year-old Sushmita Sen was declared Miss Universe 1994 in Manila, Philippines, from among 77 contestants. Oh yes, it was a long time ago. P.V. Narasimha Rao was Prime Minister, Nelson Mandela was sworn in, South Africa's first black president, Forrest Gump and Schindler's List were released that year. On Republic Day that year, we displayed the Prithvi missile. Brazil were the world soccer champions, and more than half of Indians living today were not born then in 1994. In fact, Olympian wrestler Bajrang Punia, cricketers Mohammad Siraj and Sanju Samson, and Olympian weightlifter Mirabai Chanu were all born in 1994. And all of them are today well above India's median age of 27 years. But what struck me seeing Sushmita's reel about her daughter going to study abroad was how Indians have lost faith in Indian education. Way back in 1994, only a minuscule could afford foreign education. Today, millions can, and they do, happily ditching Indian education. The numbers are telling. Data shared by the Bureau of Immigration with the Diaspora Engagement Division of the Ministry of External Affairs shows the number of students who have gone abroad to study each year. 2018, 518,015 students. 2019, 586,337. 2020, which was a COVID year, a dip, 259,655. 2021, it picks up again to 444,553. And last year, 2022, 750,365. Add that up and you get 2.5 million plus students have gone to study abroad over the past 5 years alone. The data trend tells us that this year, India is likely to see 1 million students go abroad for studies, which also means 1 million vacant seats in India's colleges and 3.5 million vacant college seats over the latest 6 academic years. What an irony that as the NEP or the National Education Policy takes off, we see the largest number of students leaving India. It's hard to digest, but going forward, we must expect some colleges to shut down. Like this news in Janmabhoomi in Kerala. Translated, it reads, "Student shortage, colleges for sale. Colleges defaulting on loans face asset attachment." Kerala students are particularly keen on studying abroad and are now estimated to be spread over 54 countries. Not just the traditional higher education centers like the US, the UK and Australia, but Iceland to Kyrgyzstan to Barbados to Slovenia to Slovakia. So much so that the tiny Dutch Caribbean country of Curacao, which has a population of only 155,000 people, has students from Kerala. And the Isle of Man, a self-governing British Crown dependency in the Irish Sea between England and Ireland, has Kerala students. English and Manx are the main languages in the Isle of Man, which has a population of only 84,000. According to the BBC, the last Manx speaker died in the 1970s. Awaits the day when English and Malayalam will be the languages of Isle of Man. Within India's bleak education sector, one sore statistic that stands out is that India does not have even a single college or university anywhere near the top in the world. The latest QS World University rankings merely reinforce that. The world toppers are 1 MIT, 2 Cambridge, 3 Oxford, 4 Harvard, 5 Stanford, at 149 is IIT Bombay, at 407 is Delhi University, and 427 is Anna University. For comparison, China has 3 universities in the top 50. I asked S Irudaya Rajan, one of India's migration experts and founder chair of the International Institute for Migration and Development, the implications of such large-scale student migration from a country.
Student migration from both Kerala and India will accelerate in the coming years. I think they should discuss in the new education policy how to keep our Indian students at India rather than promote how to send our Indian students to abroad.
India has been a global leader in remittance receipts. Irudaya Rajan foresees a likely U-turn.
We always talk about inflow of remittances. India is number one in terms of remittances. This is inward. But we have to discuss how much money is going to be as an outward remittances from India to other parts of the country.
Just how much money is going out? The Financial Express this week gave statistics about the size of student loans that youths take to go to different countries to study. For the US, 4.06 million on an average. For Australia, 3.31 million. The UK, 3.10 million. And Canada, 2.77 million. Migration is nothing new to India. So what's different about the migration this time?
The important aspect of this student migration will be the currently students who are going, none of them will return. When they become permanent residents, they will come back and sell their properties in India. It's the beginning of a large blow of money going from a poor country like India to the rich country like US, Canada, Australia.
For a rough calculation of how much money is flowing out of India to foreign universities, simply multiply 750,000, which is the rough number of students going out this year, by an average of 2 million rupees that each student spends. And that works out to 1.5 trillion rupees in a single year, which is roughly equal to 1/4 of India's defense budget. Now, it's not just about cash that's going out. What is the larger implication of so many youth leaving the country?
It will also lead to what we call them a large vacuum of people who are probably capable of taking the country to the next level. The double-digit growth of economics, we are talking about trillion economy, all will have problems because not only our money is going, these people are not coming back and generate resources here. Unless the Indian government seriously thinking of their policy for return migration of these students. So otherwise even the economy will be shattered.
I can see and feel the exodus all around me. This week my vegetable vendor has left for Dubai. And over the past few months my grocery store owner's son has gone to study in Canada. Geometric View's long-time videographer has migrated to the UK. And the place where I service my lawn cutter, the brush cutter, the service mechanic says he's going to study in Latvia. And while I'm shooting this video on Saturday morning, in Cochin, Santa Monica Study Abroad, one of India's leading study abroad education consultants, is having a pre-departure meeting for 7,236 students going to study in Canada in a single intake of students, which is getting into the Asian Book of Records and the India Book of Records. Yes, you heard that right. 7,236 students going to Canada in a single intake. This week in Kerala, when police found a man who was missing for a year and a half, he said he had absconded because he was afraid of his wife. If we ask India's students who are going abroad to study, they might say they are fleeing the country, afraid of its education and the prospects thereafter. Best wishes to Sushmita's daughter as she starts her studies abroad. She'll have lots of company. About 1 million Indian students going to different countries this year to study. To leave you on a happy note, let me tell you about this imaginative and ingenious class 5 student, Anambika of Malappuram, Kerala, daughter of Shajesh and Prasina. Anambika was always observant of her mother working in the sewing machine. But this year, Anambika surprised everyone by stitching her school uniform herself. The churidar, pants and coat all by herself. India's students have great talent. It's about keeping them in India.